beautiful beings. Welcome to my sacred space. My name is Raven, and thank you so much for being here with me tonight as I do a review of Sacred Spirit Reading Cards by Anna Stark. So, this is a deck that I got off of Amazon, but this is originally published by Rockpool Publishing Company. It's a company down in Australia, and they do produce some amazing decks over there. So, I'm happy to share this deck with you. If you would like to see just the flip through of the cards, then I will put a timestamp in the description box below so you can jump to that part. Otherwise, if you're here to learn more about the deck in general and everything about it, then stick around because we're going to go a little bit in depth, okay? Alright, starting with the box. So, as you can see, this is your, it's quite bigger than a usual Hay House deck, and I do love giving comparisons just because I feel like it is important to people who are collectors who have limited space in the home, and that's kind of like my thing. I do have limited space in my room for all of my decks, so the packaging is actually kind of like important for me just so I would know where to put it or stack it in my bookcase. Anyway, so this is a Hay House. This is a typical Hay House box, and that is how big it is in comparison with the Sacred Spirit. But this is actually thinner, so I guess you can just squeeze that right in between books or something. If you have like a bookcase specifically for your Oracle and Tarot cards, then it would easily fit because it is thin. The box is sturdy. Okay, it is sturdy. It has, I'm going to show you the sides. Okay, so it has like an inset of one of the images there. Have the title here. At the back, it's just a logo. At the top, just the title. And here you have Sacred Spirit Reading Cards, Anna Stark, with illustrations by Louis Dyer. So Sacred Spirit Reading Cards is a deck of 36 visionary artworks that will help you look beyond the physical realm and connect to higher vibrational energies to empower your spirit and confidence and direct you towards positive life paths. Gosh, I can't read. And then here you have like several images from the deck. Okay, so this kind of, I guess I'll call it line, but because Rockpool, they do come up with different decks, several different decks. So I'm just gonna show you a little bit of show and tell. So I do have the what do you call them? The message cards, I guess. Is that what they call them? Oh, okay. So these are like the message cards. It is magnetic. Okay, they are magnetic. So this one is, I don't know why it's not sticking. I guess because it's full. But anyway, enough about that. And then another sample of a Rockpool deck is this one, the Elemental Oracle. It comes with like a 2-piece box, and but yeah. So, and then this is another kind of Rockpool deck. I think this is the, like I said earlier, the reading cards line, and this one has a different packaging. It comes with a magnetic flap opening on the side, and then you open it up, and it's quite huge. Well, not really super huge, but please ignore Magnus. What's up, babe? But it's kind of like the regular book size, maybe. No, not even. A little bit bigger than your typical pocketbook, I guess. But okay, just in case you're interested to see. Okay, that's the power of love. Okay, so it is quite bigger. And what I like about Rockpool guidebooks is the fact that they use really nice paper, and they don't skimp on the ink. You would really see like colored images there for each of the cards, and then the copyright. So this was published in 2019, and then here you have the table of contents. Apart from the introduction, how to use the cards, and then immediately like the descriptions and the meanings of the cards. Yes? I'm so sorry about that. Let me just pause this. Right, I apologize for that. I just needed to pay attention to Magnus. He's being fussy. Anyway, so here you have the acknowledgements. So this is basically just who this deck is dedicated to. And then here you have the introduction. So in the introduction it says, you can't make progress if you're always picking up the pages of the past. And that makes sense, doesn't it? So here you have the Sacred Spirit reading cards are designed to support your intuitive growth and awareness of your deep connection with the universe, blending intuitive actions with guidance from the soul. The deck consists of 36 cards, each of which holds spiritual and healing messages. Every card has an associated angel, crystal, affirmation that is aligned to support you in shifting stagnant energy. So, we're gonna see that later. And then here you have basically this deck. I got this for the reason that I really wanted to do a lot of shadow work. I guess when the year started, after we entered the age of Aquarius, I just felt the need to do some shadow work. Like I said, I was under in like past videos I mentioned that I was under a major psychic attack, and I just really felt like I really once it has been cleared, I just thought that everything else would be better if I just do, shadow work as well, just so that I would start fresh for the year. So there, so I purchased quite a lot of, not really a lot, but several different decks that are more towards my healing and shadow work, and this is one of them. So here you have, so how to use the cards. So you have like here you have it. She says that, or Anna Stark mentioned that you will find hidden symbols, colors, astrological influences, shapes, and numbers within this card. So that is kind of like a way of saying that you will have a lot of things to work with when you use these cards, because there are so many things happening in the deck that you can always kind of like use your intuition to find what's the actual meaning or the message. Magnus, stop that. uh, when you pull that card. Okay, so here you have like a little bit of instruction on how to connect with your deck, a little tip here, how to do healing and meditation, and then oracle readings if you plan to use it for divination. And then here are some sample spreads right here. So we have the card of the day. So we also have one card reading, the simple 3-card reading spread, life guidance spread, 7 rays spread. So you have here the 7 rays Mahashohan. Is the supreme head of the Shohans and embodies all rays within this light spectrum. I'm still quite unfamiliar with the 7 rays, but I think this one also the rays are I think also mentioned in the Lightworker Oracle deck. But yeah, so here they are, and then here you have a little bit of background information about archangels and guardians, and then crystals if you're working with crystals, or how you can use it to heal you. And then onto the meanings. Okay, so we have here number 1, align your universe. So what you will see in this guidebook is basically the exact card, except this one is a little bit smaller. But okay, let's check 35. Okay, so 35 there. So that's how it looks like. Okay, so you have, it's still smaller than the actual card, but come on, that's a lot bigger than the rest of like all the oracle cards and tarot decks. All the other guidebooks that we would see, they would just have like black and white thumbnail, small thumbnail. But this one they're kind of like very close to the actual. Okay, maybe just a little bit of like a different in the color scheme, but very close. So let's see, number 35, we have spiritual evolution. So that's the title of the card. And then here you have like a little, maybe an action phrase. It says set your heart free. Okay, and then here you have a little bit more information. So it says forgiveness and compassion is needed now, set your heart free. So here you have the full meaning of the card. So it says expansion goes together with spiritual evolution. Without the process of expansion, one cannot evolve 'Expanding the heart and mind allows you to live a more wholesome and loving life with compassion, tolerance, and acceptance. There is no denying that learning through life experiences, good and bad experiences alike, encourages soul growth on a positive level. So, like a caterpillar. Do you really want me to continue reading? Well, I'm just gonna leave it like that so you can perhaps pause if you want to read the whole thing. And then here you have like the shadow aspect of the card if that is what you feel like you're called to. All right, so you can see here stagnation, condemnation, repetition. So if it's something that keeps repeating, or if it's something that's recurring, then if that is the situation that you're um, experiencing, then it really is time to set your heart free. It's time for your spirit to evolve, to move, to elevate. Okay, so that is what this card is saying. And then here you have the sacred crystal. It says Tibetan quartz. And then here you have angel assistance, guardian angel Samuel, health, energy, vitality, healing from trauma. Very, very important, the healing part. And then at the end, what I love about this one, or I mean the reading cards line, is they do have like affirmations. So here, as my love experience, as my love and experience grows, the consciousness of my spirit evolves. So at least you can end something. If you would like to meditate on this card, if you want to read the meaning, if you pull it, then you can kind of like sit down, sit with the card for a while, and then once you're done connecting with the specific card, then you can say out loud the affirmation. That'll just kind of like tie it with the bow. So here, that's how it looks like all throughout. Same format for everything. And then we're gonna go through the cards. So that's a total of. I want to get this one as well. I think this is a lot more colorful. But that's the author. We are going to get 81 pages of information. So a really nice guidebook. As for the cards, they're quite bigger than the usual. Well, when I say usual, it's because Hay House and this specific rock pool deck has pretty much the same size. Oops. So it's for comparison. That's what it looks like. Okay. Oh, all right. So let's talk about the backing. The backing is similar as this interior of the box, and isn't it gorgeous? I mean, even if you just look at it from the camera, I'm sure you can see how it's kind of like illuminated, how it's like with stars and sparkles. And I don't know, I'm just very much drawn to that tree. And then here you have like a silver plastic container to hold your cards so they won't fly around. And then, so the backing, similar as that. It's kind of like on the glossy side, but it's not super glossy, just a regular gloss, I guess. As for the thickness, it snaps back, no issues, no concerns there. I guess, if anything, I guess it's just too big for my hands to shuffle. But I can shuffle it this way as well. But sometimes when I prefer to take jumpers, I would, because I can't. I can, I guess, but I'm gonna create a mess. I think I'm gonna try. Let's try. Yeah, I can, but of course there's a struggle. But for this side, this is kind of like, this is how I get. Sometimes I prefer getting jumpers. It depends on what my spirit guides would tell me to take cards or pull cards, or stop shuffling or take jumpers. It depends on them what they want. I just follow. And so yeah, that is the challenge. The only challenge that I find with the reading cards line. They're kind of like bigger. So this is how it looks like. So you have no border, so it has rounded edges. Yay. Doesn't have any edging or gilding. And then we are going to go ahead with the flip through. Please be minded that these are not in order as I have used them already. Okay, so I'm gonna put on some music and we're gonna start with the flip through. Alright, so that is the full flip through of the Sacred Spirit reading cards. Now, what I would like to say about this deck is that I remember trying or wanting to get this one because, like I said earlier, I wanted to do a lot of shadow work for myself, and I feel like it's kind of like a collective thing. It's like it's like we are collectively awakening, and a lot of people are kind of like seeing things for what they are, seeing things, a lot more deeper than just the surface, or just from what their surface experience, or so it's something that's, I think, happening collectively worldwide. So that's the reason why I really wanted to get some shadow some cards that I can use for shadow work and healing, not just for myself but for others as well when I do my readings. So here you have different cards that are, they do have very different color schemes, I guess, themes per card, or some are purple, green, yellow, but I think commonly it's more on like the dark blue side. As for the theme, they can vary from kind of like otherworldly, um, maybe galactic, or sometimes even, it's like you're transported into the underworld. That's what I feel like. But some images are kind of like ethereal, like this one's like gorgeous, but some are just like kind of, but I don't know, maybe even robotic, or maybe, look at that. Can you see the lines? So, it's just a myriad of different themes. In this deck, there are animals, there are skulls, there are just maybe gods and goddesses, I guess. But, regardless, it doesn't look all over the place. It still has this quality to it that it kind of like still relates with each other, and that's a nice thing. Even though some of them are like really bright and the others are just really, dark, like this one. You know, this card specifically reminds me of Darth Maul from Star Wars. Anyway, without the red makeup. So I remember I got this one just by, I don't know, looking at the keywords. I wasn't really paying too much attention on the artworks themselves. The keywords was what drew me in to purchase this deck, and I am so not regretting the purchase of this deck. It kind of like was quite hard at first to connect with this one because it's a complete different theme from the rest of my decks that I have in my collection, but it is worth it. It's also kind of like electric in a way, and you do feel the energy. You do feel the energy when you look at the cards. You feel like it's just like it's like grabbing you from the cards. So the people here have emotions as well. You have several animals, so it's just, I love this card. There's just a lot. This is creepy, but shadow work. So there, illuminate the shadow, right? So that's it. That's the Sacred Spirit reading cards. Let me know if you like this deck. What do you think about this deck? If you're planning to get it. I would love to know your opinion about this deck. If you have it, let me know how you bonded with it. Would love to hear your stories. So that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment. I do respond to messages as soon as I can. Alright, so thank you so much for hanging out with me and for checking out the Sacred Spirit reading cards deck with me. If you enjoyed this video, thank you so much for the like and the subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!